So let's talk anxiety. So I had a few injuries on a job years and years and years ago, and I never experienced anxiety attacks until a series of events that kicked them up. Now, for those of you who don't believe in anxiety attacks and think that it's just a guy or a girl just trying to beat the system or be lazy or whatever, screw you. Because let me tell you, anxiety attacks are real. Now, I am a person who likes to be in control. Matter of fact, some people have even labeled me like a control freak. I don't know why. But anyhow, an anxiety attack is something that is, like most people, is a traumatic event or series of events that lead up to, or fears that lead up to a point where your brain does certain things to you. And then what it does, and I'll explain it real quick, is, for me, just the other day, I didn't realize I didn't have a cigarette for like 7-8 hours. I wasn't even thinking, because a lot of times I'll go a long time without even having a cigarette. But a lot was on my mind. A lot of bad things were happening, and certain things that I was dealing with in my head, and they weren't good. And then I went outside because I just needed to just relax and get away from all the craziness of being a single dad. I lit up that cigarette and I'm walking around, and all of a sudden I'm feeling really lightheaded, and I'm going down, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Is it my blood sugar? And this is when all of a sudden it kicks in, and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And at this point, the adrenaline kicks up. The cortisol washes over your head and says, oh shit, shit's going to happen. Oh my God, oh my God, oh shit. The adrenaline pumps. Your heart starts pounding. Boom, 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 boom. And you're like, oh my God. And what you don't realize at that point, and which I've been educated on, is all of a sudden your breathing changes. Your breathing becomes very shallow, and your heart's starting to pound. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God. And for me, I ran inside and I sat down. I'm like trying to calm down, because I'm like, oh, what's happening to me? What's happening to me? Not thinking. And I'm just like, oh shit. So I'm taking my blood sugar, it's normal, and I'm like, why is it normal? I shouldn't be passing out if it's normal. Oh my God. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like trying to figure out what the fuck is going wrong with me, and all of a sudden I'm almost in tears. I want to cry, but yet scream, and I'm in front of my kids. I'm trying to keep composure, and I'm like, can you please go get the oldest son, James? Can you bring him down here? Oh my God. I'm like trying not to let them see me be a panic freak. And the whole time I'm starting to shake, and I'm just like, I just want to be in a dark closet and just be wrapped in a blanket and just, oh my God, let this stop. Why am I dying? Why am I fucking losing control? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Breathe, learn to breathe. Where's the control? How I've lost it. Oh my God. And, and then slowly things start to calm down, and you're all of a sudden like, That has put me in an ambulance twice. There's these little chain of events when you hit an anxiety attack that you cannot control because you don't know what's happening. What you can do is recognize that it is an anxiety attack. And the shitty thing for me is I had a lot of things in place. I was able to pick up the phone and call my wife, or if she was here, she was able to recognize and be like, Cecil, let me check your blood sugar. Or, hey, she started talking to me and asking me obscure questions. Or just come over and rub my neck while I'm sitting there. And it would calm me down, and I would come out of it. You know, they don't happen that often. Or never, they hadn't in the last few years, but now I'm getting them a lot. And it really fucking sucks. So I have to learn all these things over again. Now, for somebody who's been to war, oh man, I can't even fathom what you're going through. I know what it feels like to have a full-blown anxiety attack. And for you people out there who's suffering from PTSD from wartime efforts, all I can say is try to be educated about it and find those coping mechanisms, because it's real. Believe me, it is so real. And for you people who don't think it's real, I had a girlfriend one time look at me and say, you're just doing this to get out of working because you're just friggin' don't want to work no more. And the whole time I was wrapped up in a blanket in a corner crying. And she was all pissed off at me because I fucking left work. It's horrifying. It's horrible. And that's what you go through. And it wasn't until later that night that I friggin' was like, okay, I'm feeling better. I went to have a cigarette and I got that lightheadedness, and I was like, oh, what a fucking idiot. Then you feel stupid. But here's the whiplash of it. Is once you go through that anxiety attack and then you get it back under control and you start to think your hormones and everything were so out of whack and your adrenaline and all these things were flipping and flopping around, that once you get it back under control, your day's spent. You're tired. You're worn out. All you want to do is go to bed. And you feel like a zombie. You're just like, oh, this sucks. You can take a ton of meds and keep it under control, but guess what? The meds only work for so long before they have to switch you up. And then it's this whole cycle of horrible shit. So if you ever know of anyone that's experiencing anxiety attacks, cut them some slack, folks. Because you know what? It's real as shit. And it's horrifying. And it's terrible. And being a single parent trying to raise my kids and stuff, let me tell you, there's nothing worse than all of a sudden jumping into a full-blown panic attack, trying to keep your shit under control, and my biggest fear is what happens if I die and fall down, and that was like going through my head. My kids are going to find me, and they're going to be lost, and they're going to be traumatized. I mean, I got things in place if anything happens to me, but, you know, they didn't, all these things run through your head. It's horrible. It's terrible. You know, thousands of little things go through your head. Who's going to be at my funeral? Who's going to do this now? Is the ambulance going to get in here in time? Do the kids know enough to call 911? Do they say, oh my God, I got to get this in place. I don't want them to see this. And, you know, and that's what I go through. But everybody else has their own little things that they go through when they're going through a panic attack. It sucks. So like I said, for all of you who think that panic attacks are just an excuse, pray to God you never have to go through one.